What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bubbas Ball Tire Outlet Arca series here on a late Friday night as we're going to take on Legacy Atlanta in the Gen 4 Arca cars. Be a lot of horsepower and a wonderful track. Like to see go back to these legacy tracks, and man, it's going to be a great time tonight. We've got about 13 drivers, it looks like, that are going to take the field here tonight, and we'll see who's going to win here at a legendary track, and probably still one of the best one on iRacing, even if it's not one that they normally run on anymore. So glad to have the option to go back. That's what's always cool about these particular iRacing, is they allow you to go back and go check out some older tracks, some different formats and stuff that we had before. Pretty awesome. Now it's a super speedway, and well, I think it's kind of growing on me, and I think as the surface starts to wear out a little bit, I think that track will maybe be a little bit more interesting. Be interesting to see how that plays out once the surface starts to wear out. But this surface right here was just pristine, with wearing tires out. Guys would have to go all over the track. It was bumpy, and that's what these guys are going to be dealing with tonight. Tire wear going to be a big issue. You're going to be able to run multiple lanes, bottom, middle, top. All of them are going to kind of work pretty well. So whoever can figure out the best place to put this car, get out front, that's probably going to be the best way of dealing with it. So take a look at your point standings as they run, and Andy Kurtz with a 22-point lead over Michael Kostick there in second. Not a lot of participation in this series, but it's more of a fun series, so points not a huge deal. But Andy has been pretty dominant so far this season, really taking to this car pretty well. But let's go ahead and jump right into the grid and see where everybody's going to start here tonight. The Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner is going to be Michael Kostick, with the points leader Andy Kurtz on the outside of the front row. Starting in row number 2, it's going to be Travis Bieber and Mickey Isaac. Row number 3, going to be Stephen McDonald and Aaron Adcock in that 6th position. Starting the 7th is going to be Tyler Rice and Brandon Wallace. Starting 9th and 10th is going to be Jeremiah Holt and Matt Clement. Philip Monzo and Jay Watkinson are going to round out the rest of your field. So a little bit smaller field. About 13 drivers, but should put on some pretty good racing. We should get pretty spread out, and the best driver is probably going to win this thing. Expect some long green flag runs, that type of stuff. So we'll see. 100 laps here tonight. We'll take a look at the track information, though. Atlanta Motor Speedway, it's exactly the same as far as the outside walls and the length of it. Really, the only thing that's changed is the banking and the new surface. So it's a little bit more of a super speedway feel now, just where you're kind of running sort of like Daytona Talladega, but just not quite. When you have a track this small, it's hard to make a Daytona Talladega. So I think once it starts to wear out, it will be a little bit different. But here you can see just what kind of track we're dealing with here. Just the old bumpy surface. You see that light gray. That should give you a pretty good indication of what it used to be like before they repaved the thing and reconfigured it. So it's gonna be fun to watch these cars go around this track. Gen 4 Cup cars. They've got the 850 horsepower or some odd, and it makes for some pretty interesting racing. I don't think it's exactly the way it needs to be. It was sort of an accident the way that it happened, and they decided to leave it in there just because people wanted it so bad. I just think the implementation of it's not been great so far. It's really tight. We'll see how it is here, but it's not been exactly like the COT that people were hoping for. Gets really bad in traffic. That's what we see a lot. So we'll see what it's like here. It seems like if there's going to be a track that's going to be good for it, this is going to be the one. All right, Michael Kostick, Andy Kurtz going to lead us down to the green flag. 100 laps here tonight. Yeah, green flag is out here in the Arca Series. You see already some guys struggling there. Oh, and man, they're wrecking. Already at the start-finish line, some guys spin their tires. Aaron Adcock, Philip Monzo, going through the grass here. You see Aaron there in that 23 machine. He is backwards. Steve McDonald is kind of where this thing all started. Let's go back and see what happened there. You can see just go back a little bit further, but you can see the kind of result. I don't know if somebody spun their tires or what exactly happened. We'll look on board Steve McDonald. He somehow ended up across the nose of the 23 here. You're going to see a couple drivers spin their tires. Mickey Isaac, Caustic. Yeah, a little bit of contact there from the 23 to 68 as he was trying to avoid. You'll see the 01 of Mickey Isaac is going to spin his tires, go up into the outside wall, and I think Aaron was just trying to avoid him. He just comes down. I don't think Steve really knew what was going on down there. Oof. Yeah, I mean, no, doesn't surprise me one bit that he made that move that he did. Unfortunately, at the restart zone, it's hard to really kind of get along with that. See, kind of from Steve's point of view, he's not really going to be able to see much at all. It happens right next to him. He just kind of gets right hooked. Anyway, back under green. That's quick. Quick little caution there, but yeah, I guess that's where it is with the power. These in this track, guys were not able to get the power down on this this sort of wild surface. A lot of horsepower, old surface. That's kind of what you get into. It's almost like they were driving on a concrete track like Bristol or Dover, which have been known to have that sort of issue. So memory bank for sure, guys. Going to be thinking about that moving forward and trying to remember those on those restarts. If we get a late race restart with a tire issue, you know, not having brand new tires, you might find yourself in trouble. Take a look at the weather. You can see the track's a toasty 112. Not as bad as we saw. I think last week was almost 140 degrees, I believe. So it's not that hot, but it is pretty warm. 112 degrees is pretty toasty. So going to continue to be a struggle all night long dealing with that weather. Barney's got the yellow flag out. Maybe we'll get the 1 to green here. We'll see as they cross over. But I think this time the idea will be just let's roll on the throttle, get this thing down into turn 1. We do get the 1 to green. It'll get doubled up. A few people coming down pit road, got some damage fixed. Christopher Reese in that 62 machine apparently had enough damage that he needed to take that fast repair. So fast repair here early, but that's why we have them, so you can get back out there and keep racing. You know, that's a good thing about racing online is you got the ability to get a fresh car. There's some leagues that are pretty stout now and they don't have a fast repair. You got to really think about it and be patient, be smart about where you put your car. But here in the Arca series, that fast repair is just to keep you racing. You get involved in something that didn't have anything to do with you, get back out there and run. So all right, getting doubled up for the restart. We'll go back green here. If we can get 1 green flag lap, I think this time we'll have a little bit better start. Got the green flag as Andy Kurt's going to come through the Geico restart zone, and the green flag back out. Oh, and they're spinning again. Gene Watkinson going through the grass. And for some reason will not change the camera angle at all. Gene Watkinson is sitting there in that Wendy's car in the grass, and he called it quits. He just said, I'm out. So we stay green. Andy Kurt's able to get out to an early lead. No surprise there. He's been really a dominant driver all season long in these cars. And, you know, he has been running in a Saturday night league that's very, very competitive, along with, I think, Michael Kostick and a few others. And here we go. Travis Beaver going down to the inside. Already a battle for second place. And we're going to see just how the high line and the low line work. What's the best place to be? And, you know, what you would like to see if cars are side by side, you'd like to see that they can continue to run there. Not one is better than the other. We see at some tracks like Homestead or Bristol, where you get up on the high side, you can dictate the run off the corner. And then some tracks you're on the bottom, and you get down the bottom, you pretty much have the spot. But looks like the bottom a little bit better right now, as Caustic did hold on for about a lap. He's going to get a run here, might try the little switcheroo, but going to fall back into that third position. But it looked like they were able to run side by side for a lap there. Ooh, caution is back out. Looks like Matt Clement is sitting there on the track and calls it quits himself. And it looks like it was a caution flag thrown by the admin. Let's go take a look at the Kinder Farm Ranch Wreckage Rewind, exactly what happened. It's like the 138 of Philip Monzo comes down and just right hooks the 19 machine. Check that again. And it looks like a couple drivers just fighting for the same real estate. That line, you know, the fast line that a lot of these guys have been running have been right up against the, they're right about half a lane, maybe a full lane up from that white line down there. You want to run sort of where that those dart marks are. That's where the grips at. But so I think Clement was going right around that first seam, and I think Monzo probably thought that he would go all the way down to the white line, so they kind of met in the middle. Unfortunately, Clement was out far enough that he right hooked him into the wall, so Clement back down pit road. He did take a tow, so that car must have been toast. He does have a fast repair if he gets this tow finished and he can get back out there. Gene Watkinson has exited the race already after that spin on the second restart, so a couple drivers already having some big issues, lots of repairs down on pit road. Steve McDonald, Chris Reese, along with Matt Clement, down getting repairs fixed on those cars, and they'll get back out there. I kind of expected this thing to go green, but it looks like this combo is pretty dicey, so. I think the biggest downside to this car is just how it is on older tires. It seems to, I don't know, it almost seems like the car is, you know, the mechanical grip is digging into the pavement whenever whenever you drive this thing. It's such a weird feeling. You don't really feel like you've got the power to like just over rotate the car. It just seems like the car is just dug into the ground, and it can almost give sort of a tight feeling. It can be kind of frustrating to make passes and get runs on folks. So, but it obviously depends on the track. This track may be maybe a lot different than what I've seen so far, but they got some work to do on I think on this car. Now I would imagine maybe it's more setup related. You could definitely feel the power difference versus the regular Arca car, but it is a little bit tougher to race this car sometimes. Seems like you're kind of stuck, but that's sort of normal for all of the stock cars, so really no different. We are 10th of the way through. We got to do that 9 more times. Pace car going to pull off. We're going to go back green, and we haven't gotten everybody across the start finish line just yet. We'll see if we can get it done here. And oh, somebody made contact with the wall, Steve McDonald, but they keep going. They made it. So hey, that is the best restart we've done so far. Everybody gets clear as Andy Kurtz has a pretty big lead. Chris Reese going down to the inside of Phil Monzo. Trying to make up some spots after getting that damage he elected to use his fast repair after trying to get some of that damage fixed. Obviously, it wasn't driving really good, but he's going to go to the inside of Monzo and take over that spot. But a battle for the lead. Danny Kurtz under fire from Travis Beaver here tonight. He just takes the lead without much issue at all. He's also committing heresy with a Ford Fusion logo on the front of that 114 machine. These are all Chevys. There are no Ford models in iRacing. This is an old model here in iRacing. I believe it was a Junior Motorsports, an old Nationwide car that was scanned. I believe that's the body for this. They've obviously updated and changed some parameters, but that's where the scan comes from. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. So it's an old body that's been around for a while, and you can see that where the nose pokes out at the bottom there. But it's a Chevrolet, no Ford, or I mean, all they have was Fords back then, I think. Dodges, I guess, would be another. But these are all Chevrolet bodies. But he put a Ford Fusion logo on there, and I hate him for it. I don't like that. But he's out front. Got a nice little lead. Jumped out to an early lead as Michael Kosick sitting back here behind Andy Kurtz. And we'll kind of go on board and see what it takes to get around this place. Go on board with Andy Kurtz. Him off of the throttle pretty early. Then rolling back on the throttle. Trying to carry as much speed. See, he's going to come off the corner a little bit higher, and that allowed Travis to get a little bit better run from middle off. You see, he's able to gain a bunch of ground right there in the middle. But you definitely see they're having to lift early. They cannot drive. You see the truck, maybe even the next gen car, really charge and attack the corners, but you're not seeing that here. You're having to really lift and maximize your exit speed. But you see, I mean, Andy looks like he's pretty fast, but Bieber able to continue to pull away a little bit. That dirty air just being a pretty big detriment, looks like. So good job by Bieber getting out front early. Brandon Wallace getting passed by Christopher Reese as Reese continues to try to move up through the field after getting that fast repair and going down pit road a couple times. I don't know what is this camera angle. No idea. Reese able to get around him. Now moves up in the 7th position. Kind of set his sights on that 23 machine, Aaron Adcock, who is able to have recovered from that lap, or not even lap one, sort of a lap 0 spin. My Lord, what a spotter cam. We're way up there. Well, I'm a little afraid of heights, so I get a little nervous here. I wonder if these cameras might be for the other version of Atlanta. I don't know. Either way, Travis Bieber continues to lead a little 3-car battle. Mickey Isaac's hanging around back there. He might start catching these guys pretty soon, but you can see there's something weird about these cars. They really can't pass. Seems like they're just kind of stuck in position, because I mean, these drivers are right on top of each other. It seems like it's really hard to get the runs off the corner. It seems to stall out pretty badly, but here we go. Kurtz gets a nice little run, going to get to the outside. That might be a pretty beneficial spot. the outside will wear the tires out. He keeps it wound up on the outside. We'll see if he can complete the pass. Going to get really close to the wall here, but does get the run, as I think Bieber might have gotten a little bit loose, and man, he's going to lose 2 spots because of it. To fight back here, but Caustic does a great job of keeping Bieber from getting back to the inside. So now it's sort of just swap position, but still kind of looks the same. 3 cars all over each other. This is about time when the tire wear is really going to start to take effect, if it hasn't already. I would imagine with a pretty warm track and the way that these cars in this track drive, tire wear is going to be extremely important. So, you know, we don't really see the tire saving of old. It's really hard to explain. Here comes Caustic, though. He has got a nice little run off the corner as Bieber gets loose back there, but you don't see the tire saving of old where you can run off the pace and then run these guys down. You have to run pretty quick. Run pretty quick lap times. You have to fight hard. You just have to manage the heat of the tires these days. You're not really worried about, you know, just lap times. You're worried about heat. You know, so you can run faster lap times. So I mean, you know, 8-9 years ago on iRacing, you know, you could run 2 or 3 tenths off the qualifying pace, and that was considered saving tires. But these days, it's not that way. It is you can't run off the pace and save tires. Now you can do both. This Costa's going to get a nice run here down the back straightaway. So does Bieber. Like Andy Kurt's got a little bit tight off the corner. So here comes Caustic down to the inside. If Andy can defend it, but it seems like he got tight there. Does a great job off of turn 4. Going to get a nice run down the straightaway. Let's see if he can clear him. I think he's got the preferred line up top, but man, Caustic going to be able to slide him right here. I think Andy's going to try to put his nose in there. It's Caustic. Oh my goodness, they almost make contact, and now here comes Bieber down to the inside. I think Andy had enough and just kind of backed out and let that play out. So Michael Caustic up front. But yeah, you don't really run slower lap times anymore. You just have to manage the heat, and that's just you know, managing heat in the tires is all about the steering wheel and the throttle and how you use them together. If you're too aggressive with the steering wheel trying to make that thing turn, you'll burn the fronts up. If you're, you know, too liberal with the throttle off the corner like Andy Kurtz was right there where he got loose, you'll start to burn the rears up. So that's how you do it these days. And so far, it looks like Michael Caustic is the best at it at the moment, because he is the only one to pull away after 26 laps. Christopher Reese did send me a message and said that it's about 38 laps on fuel. Now, he said that you'll want tires well before you need fuel, but I don't think we'll see anybody come down pit road for just tires. I think fuel will be the name of the game. So if they can make it close to 38 laps, I think you'll see them come down probably about 33, 34, just to split it up into thirds. 100 lap race. Those guys who pitted a little bit earlier might, you know, I think Aaron Adcock came down pit road for fuel only. So he'll be able to run about 10 laps more than these guys. But still think they're going to have to make 2 stops regardless. See if Aaron can save a little bit of fuel, but I just don't think you can be able to run from 50, obviously. Christopher Reese still in that 6th position, starting to run down. Ooh, as Brandon Wallace gets loose there. Right behind him, Tyler Rice working that top side. Haven't talked too much about him tonight, but as he blinks out, he's the only one running that top side. Now, we see him do that a lot. I think we saw him do it a couple of weeks ago. Oh, he gets into that wall a little bit. That's the danger of it. But it sure is fun. It's fun to run that top side. One of these days, one of these days, iRacing is going to fix the fact that the high side just chews those tires up. But that's where we are right now. We have multi-groove. You know, that's one step in the right direction, man. For so long, we didn't have multi-groove. You had to run at the bottom because grip never moved. You know, you never could find, the grip was always the best on the bottom, where in real life it starts to rubber up and you move up the track. It didn't happen on our race, so the bottom was always the best. But now they got it fixed where the top will be a little bit faster. The problem is it is so tough on the tires that when you go up there, you're pretty much throwing that tire run away if you use it too much. So that's really disappointing. Hopefully they'll work on that and get that to where we can run multiple lanes. We've seen it in the past. There was a build probably 3-4 years ago that they had that just right. Boy, it was all kinds of fun, especially at a track like this. And look at Tyler Rice getting loose there off the corner. Definitely having some handling issues. Well, he's going to keep practicing. I tell you what, if they ever fix it, Tyler Rice is going to be a monster out there because he can definitely run the wall. He's getting a lot of practice doing it. Aaron Adcock, he's got a lot to think about back here. Got Brandon Wallace, Christopher Reese on his back bumper. Trying to hang on to that top 5 spot, but Chris Reese, who had gotten to the back bumper of Aaron Adcock, now Brandon Wallace has been able to keep up with him. Got a little 3-way battle for the top 5. And I think Reese might be a little bit faster, but you see Aaron really dumping that dirty air on that 62 machine. Gets a little bit loose right there. Oh my goodness, as he is spinning the tires down the front stretch. My goodness, almost a disaster as a 23. So that's something else to be concerned about, is that front stretch. These guys are spinning the tires. Have so little grip that on the front stretch, he was spinning those tires out trying to go through that quad oval. And if you'll look and see, kind of go on board here, is man, Reese now gets a little bit loose. We've got a little battle going on right here. But you see, as you turn here, you have to turn into that quad oval. And if you just sling that car just a little bit too much, it'll get her out of shape. Look at the 23 drive through the middle here on the high side and able to retake that position. Reese thinks about trying to get back up in line, but going to stay down low. And Tyler Rice is running these guys down. We've got a 4-car battle here for 4th place now, as Travis Bieber down on pit road right now, getting 4 tires of fuel. Chris Reese gets loose there on the bottom. You can see that car wiggling. He loses a ton of time as both Brandon and Tyler Rice go around him. So he was going to battle for the 5th position at the time, and now he's all the way back to the 7th position. Travis comes down. He's going to get those 4 tires. Right now, they are about 2 seconds off the pace after 35 laps, so he should make up a ton of time here early. I don't know why you wouldn't come on down pit road as you see Christopher Reese peel off, and I don't know if he made that commitment cone. Probably did, but it was close. Yeah, I don't really see any value of staying out here. I think once Travis came down on 33, 34, I think you got to come on down. Oh, Tyler Rice gets in the wall. Well, I don't know. The way these guys are driving right around this time, you may stay out as long as you can to get a caution. I don't know. As Brandon Wallace gets a... Oh, my goodness, Travis Bieber almost gets into Tyler Rice. Coming on those fresh tires, had to check up quite a bit. That'll slow his run down, but I mean, he's going to have... Look how different those tires are. Look at that. Just drives right on by him. And he's gone. So that's the difference of 4 fresh tires. He will have a massive lead over both Kostick and Andy Kurtz once they come down pit road. They will, sort of catch up towards the end. But I think with the 2-stop strategy, the problem is by the time you get caught back up, it'll be time to pit again, and he'll still have the advantage. So I think right now Travis Bieber is in the best spot, assuming no caution comes out. Now, caution comes out, that changes everything, but right now, I mean, Travis Bieber is scooting. Gets a lap down. He is a lucky dog, though, so. Last lap, he ran a 31.531, where Michael Kostic ran a 33.532, so 2 seconds a lap. He has been out there for 4 laps, so we'll just say it's 3. That's at least 6 seconds he's made up on the 2 leaders now, as Andy Kurtz has come down pit road to make his stop. So Kostic staying out. You expect to see him come down anytime soon, as it looks like they can make about 40 laps on fuel, as still got 3 drivers. Mickey Isaac, one of those. Here comes your leader down pit road now. Aaron Adcock and Brandon Wallace should stay out for another 10 laps or so, which will be great for them. They can try to get a caution. I mean, if they stay out, they're going to lose a ton of time. I mean, just no doubt about it. And I don't think you really recover. I think you got to come down pit road. I know you want to stay out as long as you possibly can, but you still got to make 2 stops. If you can make it on 1, I'd say, you know, obviously do that, but you can't. You're going to have to stop twice, so there's no point in staying out much longer here. I think if you're Aaron and Brandon, but looks like their plan is to come down pit road. So as far as when they cycle back around, Travis Bieber will be your leader, and he will have about a 7-second advantage over Andy Kurtz currently. So you just see how different it made by just coming down 5 laps early. He's got a massive lead over Andy and Kostic. He will, I mean, honestly, Travis Bieber hasn't fallen off that much, maybe 3 or 4 tenths. But there will be a certain point in time where he will start to fall like a rock, and Andy and Michael will be able to make up some of that time. But, you know, 7 seconds is a lot. I'm surprised they stayed out as long as they did. Currently, Aaron Adcock, your leader, got a battle for that, as Brandon's trying to keep pace with him. Starting to fall off just a little bit, as they're running very close to 34-second lap times. So it's, I mean, they're quickly. Bieber's already 19.5 seconds back and still in the 31-second bracket. We saw them come down right at 40. These guys are on 35 laps of this stint, so they can go another 10 laps. You know, that'll get them to 53-ish. You know, I don't know if they can save enough fuel that it's going to matter. You have to save way too much fuel, and the tire difference is too big. If the tire fall off was about a second, maybe a half a second or something, I'd say try it. But I don't like the strategy currently. But still leads on lap 45 of 100, not quite halfway, but expecting to see that pretty soon. That 23 car is starting to pull away now from Brandon Wallace, who's about 2 seconds back as he's coming down pit road. So the 99 brings his Chevrolet down pit road, get 4 tires and fuel, and get himself set up. Gonna lose a ton of time to these guys. Now they will, you know, be able to run them down towards the end of the run. But I think with tire wear like this, I want to be ahead of the game. I want to be that first one to come. I want to be Travis Bieber, who's the first one to come down pit road. Andy has been able to drop that lead down to about 5.5 seconds now, but he is currently dealing with a caustic. And I think that means he doesn't believe in a God. I don't know. Saw Caustic be pretty strong, you know, as they got the tires worn out. Very rarely do you see him be strong early and be aggressive, but be a good opportunity for him to do that here. Travis Bieber now running in the 32.3 bracket, and these guys running 31.8s. Is Costa going to look down to the inside, try to make a move for this second position? Well, what will be second position once Aaron Adcock gives up the lead. And he takes it without much resistance at all. Looks like Andy might have a run here, but actually just kind of backs off and lets Costa go. Looks like it's going to be started off a little rough, but looks like it's going to be one of these races where it's going to go green. As here comes Aaron Adcock down pit road, give up the lead. Now we'll transfer it over to Travis Bieber. So 23, about 39 laps on that stint. Now the lead is down to about 4 seconds, 3.8 to be exact. So they have made up a good amount of time, about half the time that Bieber had really gained on them. And this is that point right here in the run where I think, you know, it's going to be, it's their time to gain. But I think at some point, it's going to equalize right around that 33-second bracket. We'll see how close they get. Right now, about, see at the line, 32.7 for Bieber and 32 flat for Cossack. That's about 7/10 a lap. That's a pretty good amount. We'll see. Bieber's only got about 16 laps before he's going to come back down pit road. And at 40 laps, I mean, he can come down in 10 if he really wants to push the tires. We've seen towards the end of the run, they'd be really, really eat up. So you might not want to go that far as they shave another 9/10 off of his lead that last lap. So yeah, about 2 seconds now. They're definitely catching him. You see Travis Bieber up there just trying to maintain. And he might have got out there with those new tires and just laid waste to them early. That's definitely possible. I think if you go out and try to lay down qualifying laps, it's going to be tough for you. Towards the end of this run, you go out there and just kind of just take the advantage and take care of them, save them. But we saw Travis, I mean, just blowing by guys, so he might have pushed a little bit too hard trying to gain that 7-second advantage, but it didn't take long for it to be pretty much negated. He's in the 33-second bracket already, as Cossack and Andy Kurtz in the low 32 still, but they should equalize in the next 3 or 4 laps, I think. Everybody kind of settled around 33 seconds for a good amount of time. I think Travis will lose the lead, but I don't think he'll lose too much ground here. Full update on Christopher Reese. He did hit the cone on that entry to pit road and got a 40-second hold, so he now is 1 lap down. He's fighting for that lucky dog spot with Philip Monzo, who's also 1 lap down. So if caution comes out, Monzo will be the lucky dog, and you start to see this battle for the lead picking up. I don't think there's anything Travis can do here. I think Cossack's going to get around him pretty easily. I expected Bieber to be able to hold it off. I just wonder if he didn't just go out there and just lay down some heaters. Off of pit road, man, he gets real loose there. He goes down to the inside, and Andy Kurt's going to drive right by him as well. So yeah, I'm a little surprised about how quickly they caught up to him. Only a 5-lap difference on tires. They came down 5 laps later. So I think Travis just probably went out there and just started laying down Q laps. That's the only thing I can think of. Aaron Adcock, who stayed out as long as he possibly could, is now in the 8th position. He's the fastest car on the track for sure. He's going to have about a 6-second gap to Stephen McDonald, so he can get with it. He can probably catch them with no problem. Then it'll be another 5 seconds to Tyler Rice, so he's got a lot of work to do. Up front, though, we might have a battle. I would say it's a battle. They're within a second. That's a battle to me. Half a second right now as Andy Kurtz, who we're looking at right here, is trying to do the opposite of what happened last time when he got passed by Kostic at the end of the run. I wonder if Andy maybe didn't learn something, change his driving up a little bit, maybe get out front. Got some lap traffic up ahead of him, so we'll see if that makes a difference. But we are got a battle here. Want to check this out. Brandon Wallace, Tyler Rice. Brandon gets a run down on the inside, not quite able to clear him as they come. They're going to be drag racing down to the stripe. Brandon's going to have the position at the line and drive deep down into turn 1 and take over that spot. So Brandon Wallace now in the top 5 here with about 40 laps to go in this race. Still another pit stop to get to the end here. See how quickly he pulled away with those 7-lap fresher tires. Wipes the steering wheel inside of Tyler Rice's car off the corner. You just see a lot of counter steer, turning that wheel to the right. Watch him as he comes off the corner. We'll see if he's trying to hang on to that thing. See that steering wheel? Oh, yeah. Loose off of turn 2 there. Takes me back to the old days of iRacing. I guess I'm in a reminiscent mood, but back in the day, you would take the Cup car. Yeah, it was a COT car at the time, and you would drive down in the corner. You would lift. You would get right back on the throttle, and you turn that steering wheel to about, I don't know, 1 or 2 o'clock from the middle of the corner all the way off. And I'm talking about had to wheel that joker. You drive down the corner and just counter steer all the way off the corner. So unrealistic. But that's the way they did it for a while. And maybe a little bit throwback to that here tonight. Steve McDonald's going to have some company here in just a second. You'll see in the right side of your screen. There he comes. Aaron Adcock on the freshest tires in the field. Not made up as much ground as maybe he had hoped, but about to take over the 7th position. About 2.5 seconds back from Tyler Rice. Another 2 seconds back from Brandon Wallace. He's 19 seconds off of the lead. So Aaron Adcock up to the 7th position. And everybody pretty much equally spread out right now. I mean, that was the closest battle for quite a while. The lead is about a second. Right now, it's all Michael Kostic with a massive 19 second lead over Stephen McDonald, who's the last car on the lead lap. Andy Kurtz and Kostic running similar lap times. Kostic is just like 1/100th of a second faster every single lap. It's just slowly pulling away. As we just got about 35 laps to go in this race. Still got to make one more stop. Should expect to see him come down the next 5 to 10 laps, I'd say. So already 3 retirees in this race. Christopher Reese has called it quits as well. So Matt Clem and Gene Watkinson also called it a night after some tough luck. So 10 drivers remain here at Old Atlanta here in the Arca Series. Far cry from what it was last season. Almost 30 drivers in this series, almost weekly. Here comes Aaron Adcock going around the outside of Tyler Rice. Going to get up into that 6th position. He continues to put these guys, picking them up, putting them down. He is gaining on the leader. He's obviously a little bit faster than everybody is. Those tires are good. Oh, it gets really close to the wall there. Ooh, that was close. Just going to run out of time here to really take advantage of these tires, I think. As we got somebody coming down pit road. Looks like Travis Bieber comes down right at 32. So got himself a set strategy. We'll see if he doesn't change the way he drives. I mean, if he goes out there and just kind of runs halfway, doesn't push the car too much, I think he'll be able to make up that ground and maybe not lose too much time. But I mean, really don't know. But he's going to go a lap down, maybe more. Nicky Isaac has come down pit road along with Bieber. So pit road already wide open as it's getting busy down here. As far as Cossack and Kurtz go, they're really on their own pit strategy. I mean, I think Bieber can jump them here, but and Travis Bieber, just a tough deal. Travis Bieber speeding on pit road, he's going to get a penalty, so that is not going to help him at all. As he is going to go a couple laps down. That is Dunzo for that race. That's Philip Dunzo right there. As he's going to get loose, almost wrecks coming off of pit road. So now the battle is going to be between these two, Michael Cossack and Andy Kurtz. Andy Kurtz about 2 seconds back. Andy can try for the undercut here, but Cossack has looked just too strong on this long run. It's not really going to matter too much, I don't think. As here comes Aaron Adcock down pit road. So Aaron comes down. He's only been on the track for 22 laps, but I think I like this call. I like this little change. Go long on one and then short pit this one and try to make up those spots ahead of you. I think that's the right call because you run 10 more laps. I mean, you're only going to come out with 15 to 20 laps, and it's just not enough time to make up the ground. As Aaron's going to burn them down coming off pit road. There's already one person caught speeding. We'll see if anybody else gets caught before the end of this cycle. Here comes Cossack down pit road to make his final stop as well. 4 tires and fuel going to be the call. And really no pressure out of the 8. Comes down with the lead. Going to come down pit road. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he's going to come out with the lead once everything cycles out. Andy Kurtz would love to have a caution flag right now, but I think if you plan on winning the race, you got to come down pit road if you're Andy. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. Going to come down, bring that 5 machine down pit road, 4 tires and fuel, and try to, the best he can, run down that 8 car. Kind of hope that the 8 car maybe has some tough luck on pit road. I mean, in his box, he's had the fastest stop out of anybody so far, so I don't think Andy's going to be able to really best that. We'll see, but this will be the race as Tyler Rice will assume the lead. Yet to come down pit road. So Andy Kurtz did get on and off pit road about 1/10 faster, so that's not really going to matter as we see Travis Rice coming down pit road in that 6 machine. Going to give the lead back to Michael Kostic, who has a 3.5 second lead over Andy Kurtz. And based on what we've seen without a caution, I just don't see that. I don't see Andy making that up. That is a lot to make up. And even if he does get there, Kostic is shown to have better long run speed anyway. And I think Andy will just have to burn his stuff up to get to him, and then he'll just die off. So I'd love to build some drama, but right now Kostic has kind of set himself apart. Checking in on Aaron Adcock, who did that pit stop, was able to jump ahead of Brandon Wallace, now inside the top 5. Brandon Wallace looking down to the inside, going to try to make a move on this 23. Brandon still has, he has got two lap fresher tires. He hasn't gotten the good off of it yet. He's still using that sticker a little bit. It should maybe these two might be able to run down Mickey Isaac, who came down about 7 laps ago. But Aaron Adcock fighting hard back on the outside, not going to give this spot up. Gonna have a lap car out in front of him. That's Philip Monzo. We'll see if that plays a part. Brandon Wallace trying to complete that pass now, and he does. So Aaron's going to try the old switcheroo, but not going to be able to get it done. Oh, as Monzo's going to pull down right in front of Brandon Wallace and actually goes back up to let him go. Slows down Brandon just a little bit, but not enough that Aaron can capitalize on it. Andy Kurtz has brought that lead down to 3 seconds. He's about a 10th faster the last couple laps, but only 20 laps to go. He's going to pick up a lot more than that. Actually, he was 4/10 faster that last lap. So Andy really laying him down right now is Kostic. I don't know if Kostic had some sort of problem or what, but he was pretty well off the pace. Might have been trying to go around Tyler Rice there. That might have slowed him down. Or he might just be taking it easy. I mean, he doesn't have to push the car at all. I mean, he can let up a little bit, give Andy Kurtz a little bit of hope. Maybe like that meme, don't give me hope. And make Andy push that car. I mean, at this point, Andy Kurtz doesn't have any choice. He's got to go out there and drive as hard as he possibly can for 20 more laps. And at least try. I mean, if something happens to Kostic, he gets loose or gets in the wall, he'll be right there. I mean, there's no point not to. Mickey Isaac's 7.7 seconds back, and he is on 11 lap older tires, about 4 lap older than Andy. But I don't think there's much danger of Mickey Isaac catching Andy Kurtz. So might as well push that car as hard as you can, and maybe you get lucky. Of course, caution comes out, that can change everything. But we really haven't seen when these guys get up to speed, get their tires heated up. You haven't really seen these guys get in a dangerous situation. We've seen some guys get loose off the corner, but we haven't seen anybody get just dangerously sideways where they couldn't save it. It's mostly been just controlled slides. And folks like Tyler Rice and Travis Bieber. But less than 20 laps to go here in the Arca series, and it is It's a barn burner, let me tell you. One of those old school races. I like it, where everybody's sort of spread out. It's a lot like Atlanta. I mean, you think about, I was at Atlanta in 2011. This is the way the race went. These old 1.5 milers, somebody get out there and just run away with the thing. You know, as a race fan, I like both. I like all of them. That's if, you know, I'm the type of guy that likes to get you got 3 or 4 cereals in your house. I want to put all 3 of them in the same bowl. And that's kind of the way I like my racing. I like all of it. You know, you say, well, you know, I don't like the 1.5 milers where they're all spread out and everybody's 3 seconds away from each other. Or I don't like the plate races where everybody is just all luck. I don't like road course. I like it all. I like it that you have to have you know, every race can be different. You're not going to have a race where everybody's right on top of each other. Sometimes you're going to go out there and it's going to be a driver's track, or cars are going to be spread out, and I like that too. So. Right now, Caustic continues to maintain as Andy Kurtz and him have kind of equalized on times. And so that gap has stalled right around 2.3 seconds. And I don't see Caustic giving that up. It's going to be, yeah, I don't know. It's going to take a mistake, a lap car having some sort of issue, or a caution. If we get a caution, I think Andy Kurtz could probably grab this win, but I think right now at this point, Caustic has just been too good on the long run, and I just don't see him making mistakes. He just doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. He's pretty solid. Once he starts clicking off lap times, he doesn't really miss. So. Right now, Caustic's just sitting there hoping, man. No caution. It seems like when you get out front, you hear people pop up over the radio. Oh. And you're like, oh, here we go. And you're like, man, I'm only 10 laps away from this win, and what are you wrecking for? You know, and somebody go, oh, sorry about that. Oh, and that's all you hear over the radio. And it's just constant. Guys, you know, saying that over the microphone. So even though you feel like you got the win in the bag, you're just sitting around waiting for the laps to click off and just waiting for somebody to make a mistake and spin out. And it always seems to happen. It just seems like somebody ends up spinning out, making contact. Sometimes on purpose. And we see that a lot, where somebody will need a caution and they'll get down there and you'll see that steering wheel go left, right, and they'll spin out. Oh, darn, just lost it. What am I talking about? I don't know. It's late Friday night. It's 10:30 here in the Lord's time zone. It's late. I'm a little under the weather. And I'm trying to call a race with 10 guys in it that are all spread out. Here we got a battle for the lead. Oh, no, it's Tyler Rice going to try to unlap himself, which would be an important thing for him to do while he would get the lucky dog. I'm sure Travis Beaver would really love if Tyler Rice would get up there and unlap himself. So if a caution does come out, that Travis Beaver would get that lucky dog, get back out front on the lead lap. Tyler Rice has about 3 lap fresher tires than Caustic, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it obviously is, as he is definitely closing up on him. He got to him, just not quite able to make the pass just yet. And for Caustic, it's really difficult to make this decision because you feel like, well, I'm going to be better in a few laps than you are. So I don't want to just let you go, and then, you know, you might hold me up. But I also don't want to fight too hard, make a mistake. It's a tough decision here, what you want to do. Because Andy Kurtz, while he's not going to be able to catch him on his own. 2.3 seconds is definitely plenty if there's a mistake. You know, if Tyler Rice gets loose up here and goes up and, you know, knocks the 8 into the wall, you know, Andy Kurtz can catch him quickly. Where Mickey Isaac's some 13 seconds back, you can afford just to let him go. So, not the easiest call in the world to make. Tyler Rice, though, able to unlap himself now. You get the caution, get to go all the way around, get called up. Travis Bieber would be the lucky dog. Taking a look at the point standings before the race started, you'll see Kostic there in second. But, you know, right now, the top 10 is where the playoffs are going to come from, and we're just two races away from that. Bristol next week will lock in the top 10. We'll have a 4-race playoff, but 3 that will actually give points is there. For some reason they're having a race on Thanksgiving week. But that's going to be a non-points race at Daytona Road. So Texas, California, and Dover are the 3 races in the playoffs. So if you're right there on the top, you know, in the 10th place, but you see Todd Schott, he's not made many races. So you got Travis Bieber, who's going to, while would love to have a better finish, as he's slow on the track. I think he made contact with the wall, so I think I was just talking about it, but I think he's got some pretty big damage on the 114, as it looks like he made some hard contact with the wall there. Yeah, I mean, the 114 is going to have to come down pit road, so any chance for the lucky dog is pretty much over. So it looks like he just went up and kind of tank slapped the wall off of 4. And that didn't seem like a whole lot, but it definitely was. He is not able to turn that thing anymore. He does have fast repair, but race is pretty much over at this point. So just sitting there talking about the standings. He's sitting there. You see him in 12th. And there's some drivers who can make up a ton of points quickly, especially with guys missing a whole lot of these races. It's not a whole bunch of participation, so not real sure if the top 10 is even going to have a full playoff. But Travis Bieber would love to be running 3rd right now and have those points and really help his championship hopes. But back up front, Kostic 2.6 second lead with just 3 laps to go. It's right in front of them. Tyler Rice and Steve McDonald going to be battling right in front of your leader. Two laps to go here in Atlanta in the Arca series. We're watching this battle for 6th and 7th, right in front of your leader. But coming off of turn 4, white flag is out for Michael Kostic. One more lap. We got a 3-second lead over Andy Kurtz. Just got to make it around one more time as this battle continues to happen in front of Kostic. And McDonald able to hold off Tyler Rice. Got one more turn to, he got 2 more turns. They'll get to go around one more time before their race is over. But coming off of turn 4, through the checkered flag, Michael Kostic will take his second win of the season and take the checkered flag here at Legacy Atlanta. Andy Kurt's going to come home in second. We'll go back and watch this little battle. Might as well watch this out to the end, see who can get this spot coming to the checkered flag. This is a battle for 6th place. Tyler Rice drives it down to the corner. Going to get real loose off the corner. Goes through the grass. And crosses the line. He will finish 7th. Might get a penalty. I don't know. But comes home in 7th place. Tried to get all he could get there in the end. Couldn't get it done. All right, Kostick able to take over the top spot. Andy Kurtz is going to come home in 2nd place. Mickey Isaac with a great finish there in 3rd. Brandon Wallace in 4th. Aaron Adcock able to come home with that 5th position. 6th is going to be Stephen McDonald. Tyler Rice in 7th. Jeremiah Holt in 8th. Philip Monzo in 9th. Travis Bieber in 10th place. 11th, Chris Reese, Matt Clemon, and Gene Watkinson. So your next hard charger is going to go to Brandon Wallace. Brandon Wallace is going to take home that award tonight. So congratulations to Brandon Wallace on winning the No Neck Fast Repair Hard Charger Award winner. The Hard Luck Award winner is going to go to Travis Bieber, who was having such a good run, had that speeding penalty, and he ends up finishing in 10th place. And we'll get started here on the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show, and we'll talk to our drivers and see what they thought about the race, starting with 3rd place, Mickey Isaac. See if anybody's in here for the interview. Mickey Isaac, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
It's a big temp already.
Well, man, interesting race. Not a lot of cars out there, but kind of a lot of separation as you finished 3rd, but about 14 seconds back. But it did seem like there was a lot of fun racing that car out here tonight. What was it like from your perspective?
I was talking to Andy and Michael. I literally nodded off a time or two. No joke. One time I hit the wall and I was like, I can't do this. I was about to quit. I don't know. Them cars are fun, but the racing's not there. You know what I mean? The excitement's just not side by side, door to door. It's fight, hold on and not wreck. That's it.
Yeah, and it definitely seemed to be that way. I don't know what it is about this car. It's just it just seems like it would race amazingly, but the way that iRacing is just doesn't play out exactly like that every time. But it seemed like this track, is a lot of fun to race. But what were you struggling with that you weren't able to keep up with the top 3 there for a while? But what were you struggling with the most?
Really, just getting on the throttle. That was a big thing. Once 15, 20 laps, you really have to pretend there's an egg under it. Just gently into it, on it for a second, and then, just let it back off.
Well, you did a good job of it. You came home in 3rd, so congratulations on that. Who you got to thank here tonight?
Well, thank you for doing the broadcast. Thank everyone else for showing up tonight. I don't know how many was in here, 13 or 14. Man, I really miss those 30, 40 Arca cars. That was a lot of fun back in the day.
Yep.
Like everybody came out. I don't know. We'll see how next season is. But we'll thank Brandon and everyone else who puts this together.
All righty. Well, there you have it. Mickey Isaac comes home in 3rd place. We'll jump right into our 2nd place finisher, Andy Kurtz. Andy, this Eddie in the booth, you got a copy?
Hey, man. What's up?
Well, man, a great race between you, Travis, and Kostick. Y'all seem to kind of separate yourself pretty early. Kostick seemed to be a little bit better on the long run. You and Travis are pretty good on the short run. You were probably the best balance out of the 3. And then you were pretty close there on that last pit stop. You came down, and you were able to. I mean, I guess you were able to get caught up, but just getting closer to than about 2.2 seconds there towards the end. Is there anything you could have done differently, or is Costas just too good on the long run?
Yeah, he was really good. I think if I could do it differently, I probably would have tried to not pit before him. That first green flag pit stop, he just got too far out ahead of me on on that run. Then after that, so yeah, I would have tried to stay out a little bit longer. But yeah, I don't know. The car was really balance was really weird. It was like really tight. I couldn't drive the center of the turn at all. It felt really tight. Then it was just so loose off. So I was really struggling with the balance of the car. But yeah, it was good. I mean, a couple hiccups. I was kind of expecting something funny would happen on the start of the race, just with how much power the cars have. So a couple cautions in the beginning, but it was it was a lot of fun.
Well, what do you think that needs to be addressed with this car to make it a little bit more racy? Because that's sort of been the to me the consensus, at least from my eyes and others that have raced it, is yeah, it's fun, it's got a lot of power, but it just the way I describe it, it seems like the mechanical grip or something is just off, or it's almost digging into the asphalt. What do you think they could do to try to help this car be a little bit more racy? Is it the setup, you think, or do you think it's something else?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, some tracks this car has felt awesome, and other tracks just felt absolutely terrible. So I don't know if it has, anything to do with the car just being new on iRacing, and hopefully over time the setups will get better. But yeah, it just I don't know. Like I can't imagine. I don't have a lot of experience in this car, but I can't imagine that this is the best the car can feel at all these tracks that we're running. So yeah, I'm sure it's just set up, and since we run fixed setups, I'm sure those will hopefully get better over time for my racing. And I know we do 80% fuel here, so I think that makes the car a little tighter. So um, maybe just changing that a little bit, depending on the track, could help or hurt. This we'll figure it out though.
Yeah, well, that's a good point about the fuel. But, man, come home with a second place finish. You had the points lead by some 20 points. I mean, you have, as far as worrying about any kind of regular season championship, I think you got it you're pretty close to having it having it locked up, but you're going to go into the playoffs, with a being towards the top, and just a few races, just 3 races in the playoffs to race for the championship. So congratulations on that second place. Cossack going to gain a couple points on you, but that's about it. But great win or great second place tonight. Who you got to thank?
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks as always, doing your broadcast for us. And yeah, just want to thank everyone here, Bubbas Ball Tire Outlet, everyone at Rebels, Jeff By Jr. Art, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Flexible Freight Solutions, Dark Horse Motorsports, Snowdeck, Fast Repair, and Chuck Peg Leg Felts.
There you have it. Andy Kurtz with the second place finish. And now we bring the winner, Michael Cossack, going to tell us all how to race this car and how to get a win with it. Cossack, great win tonight. You seem like early on some guys are really making moves like Andy and Bieber. And then on the long run, you're able to run them back down. Some complaints about the race, the car being a little bit hard to race and kind of weird in traffic. What's your thoughts and opinions so far about this car? You've been racing it in other places. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it again. This is probably my favorite car on iRacing right now. It's just fun to drive. This setup tonight was a little strange. Wasn't felt a lot different, but all in all, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to have the best long run speed. Give us a secret. I mean, you've already done it. You run it. You won the race. What's the secret in making this car last as long as you were able to get it to last?
I drove it more kind of like the Arca car since it was a little tighter. So I just kind of wrap the bottom and be patient on throttle, and don't worry about people pulling away too early.
Well, you definitely did that. Pit strategy, was going to be important with those 2 stops, and you kind of went long in that first attempt. And tell me, because I'm not great at pit strategy at all, but it seemed like it would be a little bit nervous to come down pit road. Did you know that Travis comes out with 7 seconds, and not that many laps, more than like 5 or 6 laps. Did y'all know you were going to be able to run him down that quickly, or were you a little nervous when you came out and saw that you had 7 seconds to run him down?
Well, I didn't think we'd get him that fast, but I know the tire fall off was pretty extreme after about 15 laps. It seemed like we were dropping off about 2 seconds. So, yeah, I kind of pushed it on that first run. I didn't want Andy to get the overcut on me. And then that last run, I didn't want to stay out too long and then have someone beat me on the undercut. So it wasn't really pit strategy. It was kind of just guesswork and react to other people.
Yeah, well, you were able to get back out front, and you really never looked back. Came down pit road, had a really solid stop. You and Andy both did almost exactly the same time on pit lane, the fastest on the track. And so did a great job getting on and off pit road. And Andy just wasn't able to get much closer than about 2.2 seconds. And you were able to pull away with the win. So congratulations on that win. And who you got to thank tonight?
Thank you for doing the broadcast. I know this one was probably a rough one to sit through. Brandon for all the work he does for the league and the series and all the other admins, and then my teammates at Bandits.
All right. Well, there you have it. Michael Kostick, your winner here tonight at Old Atlanta. And, man, was a dominating victory down towards the end of it. I want to thank Flexible Freight Solutions for their sponsorship of the post-race show. We're going to get out of here. It's late, and I am tarred. That's right. T-A-R-D, tarred. That's probably going to get me canceled. I'm probably done. So I'm going to go turn in my resume now. Thank y'all very much. It was a pleasure doing broadcasts for y'all. But it's got to end sometime. But no, it's a great race. Yeah, would love to see them be a little bit more racy, but that's just part of it. So, but Michael Kostick was able to take home the win and decrease his points gap to Andy Kurtz as we get ready for the playoffs. All righty. Well, thank y'all so much. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. VSRN, V-Speed, all of them. V-Speed 2. Go check them out. And we broadcast pretty much all week. Gosh, it feels like. So, anyway, y'all have a great night. We will see y'all Sunday night for the Rebels Truck Series. They take on Homestead. That ought to be a good one. We'll see you then. Bye.